Greetings.
Hi, how are
I'm
you?
listening.
Great to meet you.
I've been expecting you.
For the good
You
of
come
all.
get the voodoo.
Hey there.
And you are?
Light be with you.
Great to
You
meet
come to consult the spirits?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Sail here, me buy and trade. What?
Sail here, me buy and trade. What?
Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love World of Warcraft, playing video games, and making many alts. Today is Sunday, September 11th, 2022, and this is episode 762, entitled Grind Them Dungeons. And today we are Grand Nagus-less. For the next couple of weeks, Grand Nagus is going to be off in real life doing stuff. So it's just going to be me and my awesome co-host, Constraxx. Constraxx, how are you today?
I'm feeling fantastic. How are you?
I am great. The weather is getting a little bit cooler. Not a lot, but a little bit cooler.
Thank goodness for that. Yeah, a little bit more breeze, a little bit less
breeze, less humidity. Yes,
Yeah.
Jinx, we said that at the same time. Today is 9/11, and there's such a divide between, in my life, time-wise, between what happened before 9/11, 2001, and after 9/11. A lot of things were affected. As far as when I was working on the railroad, one of the biggest changes was we did reserve seating. Before that, you could actually get on a train with a ticket, and it didn't have to be for a specific train. And after 9/11, that changed totally. You had to have a specific ticket. Your name had to be on the ticket, and you had to have a ticket for a specific train.
Right.
We're just gonna touch on it lightly. It was a very sad day. I was living outside of DC at the time, and the scariest part was my mother was working in downtown DC. Like about a few blocks from the White House, not too far from the Capitol. So it was very scary because they shut down everything. And for her to get home, she actually found a friend who gave her a ride home. And that really, because everybody commuted on the subway. They shut down the subway. And it's a weird thing that for me, with a lot of catastrophes, I associate it with my mother because she would call me. Like she called me when the Murrah building in Oklahoma was blown up. She called me when the Challenger exploded, and she called me to tell me about a plane crashing into one of the Twin Towers. And I was always working second shift, which is why she was calling me. I was working, but I was at home, and it was just devastating because she called me in time to wake me up to watch as the second plane hit. And that was just an amazing. We lost many people. The whole world changed that day. The thing I like to talk about that day that impacted me the most was that, well, not impacted, but impressed me the most was that it was a beautiful day. There was not a cloud in the sky. It was just like one of those perfect not fall, but end of the summer day.
Right.
And I just want to say that I just want to think about the people we lost and the innocence of everyone, that such a horrendous thing could happen. And yeah, 21 years. And what was it, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, was it? We lost the Queen of England.
Yeah. Our lovely monarch
Yes.
kind of gave up the ghost at 3:30 in the morning. And from what I hear, the president immediately got on Air Force One to go over there. So kudos to your president for doing the right thing. It is just a little bit devastating. My spouse, she was weeping because she's from the Anglican Church. So, in a very real sense, that's her hope.
Right. Yes.
Passed away.
Right.
So that was a little rough, but I broke the news to her because I picked up my phone and Twitter was exploding.
Right.
That's all you could see is like the Queen has passed, 96. And we're very sad because she had a good reign, but chock full of life well lived,
Yes.
so to speak.
And an impressive life as a female lead for so many years. And it's interesting because when she became queen, it was right on the edge of the technology, being able to record and stuff. And when you look at some of her speeches, how she vowed to serve and do a good job, and and of course there's all sorts of stuff associated with the whole monarchy and the colonization thing. But the bottom line is, she was did something that no one had ever done as far as leading a country and a female for so long.
Right.
And not to make a joke of it, but I've been saying that, Maja, my dog, is half corgi. So she's been in mourning because, the Queen is a big corgi fan. And someone that loves...
She had 3 of them, I think.
She had multiple. I was looking at the corgi's family tree, and starting from, I think she got her first corgi when she was like 16. And
wow.
Yes, and there's a whole history of the corgis that have served the queen, and their lineage. They can be... Most of her corgis could be traced back to her original corgi, which is kind of neat, So we join the rest of the world in mourning the passing of Queen Elizabeth, including Australia. You celebrate the Queen's birthday. I always used to give Australians a little jab at the fact that they are part of the British monarch.
The Commonwealth. Yes.
The Commonwealth. Yes, thank you, the Commonwealth. So anybody mourning, we reach out to you in solidarity and wish you the best. All right, so what's going on in World of Warcraft this week? Oh, and did we mention we're Grand Nagus list? I did mention that, right?
Yes, we mentioned it, yes.
Okay. So we apologize to our Final Fantasy 14
fandom, yes.
Listeners,
the expert.
The expert won't be here, but we will do our best to carry on. So what's going on? Dark Moon Fair ended yesterday.
Yes, sadly, I got the most I could out of it, reputation and profession-wise, and it was a good go this week. I didn't like zone out the whole week when it's on, so I was really very proud of myself. I got my carousel every day. One of my friends, though, he got on the carousel and he wouldn't give him the Wii buff.
Huh?
So I think it was bugged for him. I don't know what happened.
And he had tickets?
Yeah, he had tickets. He got on and did the little dance, but the Wii buff didn't click on him, on his character.
Mm.
He was one of those returning characters that got the free month of game time or whatever, and the
that
free
is
expansion.
weird.
So I don't know if they're taking it back in experience.
Right?
Techiness.
Or maybe he went over
getting even.
the limit of being buffed. Because don't you get another buff for coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe there's 2 buffs.
Maybe he can't. He can't. Well, we used to have a term at Amtrak. You can't double dip. You can't use
double stack or what?
2 coupons for 1 train. You know, you have to spread it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't get it for free.
What else is going on?
Well, in World of Warcraft, we have the Fated Raid Sepulchre of the First Ones, which ends on Tuesday. We have the PvP Brawl Packed House, which ends on Tuesday as well. We have the Time Walking Dungeon, Burning Crusade, which ends on Tuesday. We have the Harvest Festival, which ends on Tuesday. I think people got a lot busy with that festival because the auction house was absolutely abysmal before Friday. I could sell nothing. It sold 9 Darkmoon Dagger Maul for 9 gold each. That was my biggest sale of the week for Friday. It was bad. And then beginning Tuesday, we have Fated Raids Cathal Nathria begins. We have the World Quest bonus event begins. We have PvP Brawl Deep 6 begins. And that's it in WoW. I'm not too sure what's happening in Final Fantasy 14, but I'm sure they have plenty of events going on. We'll just catch up when Grand Nagus comes back, and he'll give us the critical hit of information that we need.
Right. All right. Well, let's get going with our weeks.
Awesome.
I've had a fantastic weekend. Wow. It's very comforting. Those battlegrounds where you're not necessarily putting out more damage, but you feel like you're contributing more by pushing all the buttons all at once. Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Constraxx, how's your week in WoW been?
My week in WoW's been really, really good. I fell asleep in the chair most days because I was playing till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, as my wife will attest to. I was really, really engaged with the content. I got to hang out with my buddy. I got to play late in the morning. What we did is we tried to get him his flying, but we're kind of stuck with the quest line. I don't know what he has to do. I know he has to do something with the rune carver to get the sigil from Korthia, but he doesn't know where he's at in the quest line. So it's hard for me to say, well, you got to do this quest, you got to do this quest. He says it's at renown 52 or something. I told him I got my flying at renown 42. So I said, I don't know what you're doing wrong. I said, I know you have to talk to the rune carver, but other than that, I don't. I'm at a loss to explain to him what he should be doing. I started doing dungeons with him. I started doing Torghast because he had to progress his legendary. Otherwise, he can't progress the quest line.
Right.
So he progressed his legendary. We went twice because you had to have enough soul ash to make the thing. So he made the helm. The helm is 225. It's not his best piece of gear because he had the other items that are 262 that he bought off the auction house. I think he blew all his gold on the auction house because he asked me for 30,000 gold. I just gave it to him. I had the millions, so I didn't mind parting with some of my gold so he could buy something useful. Unfortunately, he bought the ring, which he can't equip until he finishes Zereth Mortis. So it's like, should have held off on that. That's not going to help you at all right now. Like it's a item that's going to hog up a bag slot. So, lesson learned, I guess. When somebody asks you for gold, ask them what they want to buy. I went to BlackRock last night. I was hanging around that server, and I was asking for somebody to sell me the pet from the Korthian grind, the Kyrian grind of the Path of Ascension, I think it's called. So there's 2 pets. There's a pet that costs like 8K, which is like nothing. And there's another pet that costs like 600K. So I'm like, I don't have enough gold. Like I'll throw in a rocket chicken and all my gold, but I want this pet. So the guy, they hummed and hawed, and like he didn't know whether he was going to do it or if he had the mats or what was involved. So I linked the achievement or the requirements. He goes, "Oh, I got that." So it took him like 15 minutes to get the pet, and then we met, and he gave me the pet, and I gave him the rocket chicken. He's like, "Oh, I don't want that." Like, okay.
After all that,
yeah. And then he as he's walking away, he's like, "Wait a second." He goes, "That's worth 400K." I go, "Yes, it is." He goes, "On second thought, I'll take it." Right? So I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So I hand him the pet. He goes, "Is there anything in my collection you want?" I go, "Well, I can't see your collection." And he goes, "You have to give me a character name." So he gave me one of his alts name, and I looked at his collection. I go, "Oh, I would like Rod Breath." So he hands it to me. And then my GM blows up on me. He's like, "Wow, what are you doing? You trying to quit the service?" I'm like, "What happened?" The pet I asked for is worth 700K. So the guy loses like 400K on the trade. So I'm like, huh. Okay. So I like, you know what? I don't like guild drama. Here's the pet back.
right.
Don't bury me. Don't kick me from the guild. I'm not trying to burn bridges. I just want to have fun. I would have liked this pet. It's not available. It's not available. That's fine.
Right.
Just don't get mad at me. I was trying.
Well,
The guy felt bad because I gave him the rocket chicken, and he wanted to do something nice, right?
right.
And it's easy to get upset at the little things in the game, like a drop. A drop, if you don't care about it, you can hand it over. But if you find out that it's worth 600K, you might reconsider your position, right? So, yeah, a lesson learned. You know, I hope to talk to the guy and just let him know that I didn't mean to piss him off or whatnot. Is like, and I don't try to rip off people on that server. I've donated 10 to 12 vials of this.
You have. You have done a lot.
I'm trying to be a nice guy to make friends and whatnot, but lately I've been donating. What's that pet called? The Accursed Hexer. It costs 500 pet charms. I've donated 4 of them, so that's 2,000 pet charms that are gone. It's a lot of pet charms.
Yes, and they don't grow on trees.
No, I don't grow on trees. You got to go buy them from Nesmere, and they only spawn if you've completed a certain quest line. That's why when you pass by the vendor, if you haven't done that quest line, it doesn't have the pet for you. So I tried to go on an alt to pick it up, and it's not there. So I could see why I missed it. And then I tried to go pick up more pets from Shoal, which is a horde-only vendor. I found out as I flew in with my alliance that all the NPCs around there didn't like me. He killed me. He murdered my character. And as I'm trying to find his vendor, which is the Tortola, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just go back on an alt, a horde alt, and I'll mail some pet charms over to it. It's got some frogs and toads that I don't have. So I installed Handy Notes Shadowlands because I wanted the Porthia Handy Notes. Unfortunately for me, there's no one line for Corthia. When you install Shadowland Handy Notes, it installs all of it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I looked at the map, there was like 50 things on the map. I couldn't see anything because there's so many rares, pets, mounts. All the whole map is just covered with stuff. I was like, I can't work with this. So I disabled it because I'm just not able to process the information. That's like a super crypt. It's like, I'm not able to function with this much information. So I'm just going to turn it on when I need it and then turn it off when I don't need it. Because I got these white items when I was in Porthia eggs that are to get a mount. And I wanted to get this bag slot back. So I went and did the nest quest where the mob attacks you when you go near the nest, blah, 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 blah. And you got to do it 5 more times. Well, I won't do it right now. I won't farm it. I'm not a real mount farmer. per se. I'm more of a pet collector.
Right.
It's more my thing. So I'll leave that off for like later on in the expansion when I'm bored or something. And as I'm doing dungeons, I'm doing them with my friends, so there's less chance for me to get kicked. I went and did a Burning Crusade dungeon with them because you get the 500 time walking badges towards a mount or a pet, and you get the 236 gear that drops. So it's basically mythic gear, which is not bad. Like you get a little piece of upgrade. I got three upgrades, and you could buy with the time walking badges. You could buy eye level 200 gear when you're max level. So it's easy to upgrade stuff. And basically, the healer was pulling stuff because the tank wasn't moving fast enough.
Ooh.
So it was like just a massive roller coaster down to the finish, and like people were even pulling the bosses when we were working on trash. Everyone's wearing mythic gear or whatever, so like they just want to get the dungeon over as fast as possible. And I died once because I stepped into something and I pulled AoE, and like I was down in like 1 second. So obviously I hit the wrong mob that the tank didn't have aggro on.
It happens. It's very easy in the heat of the moment.
I went to the auction house on Friday and I said, you know what? I'm going to try barking in trade for mountains. So I tried selling Vial of the Sands. I sold 1. Then I sold 2. I sold 3. I sold 4. Then I sold 5. Then I sold 6. 6 Vial of the Sands.
Wow.
So barking in trade seems to get people's attention. You know, it's like, well, I'll take that. I'll take that. And if they don't want to buy it from you, they buy it from the auction house, which is also you, basically, because you list on 2 places, right?
Right.
So that was a pretty good week there. I made some gold. Since I gave all my gold on BlackRock to a guildie to get this one pet, Indigo, it's called the Kyrian Path of Ascension pet. It's like a unicorn. So I gave them all my gold in the rocket chicken, so I didn't have any gold left except 40 gold, which I was using to flip Wild of the Sands. I bought a WoW token to get 215k back, which that's a couple of bucks, but I don't mind giving Blizzard some of my money because that's my thing. That's what I do. I play WoW and I try to make it. I got the box of many things in Torghast. So I went with 4 different characters. I even multi-boxed it, the Torghast run with 2 gnomes. Both gnomes died at one point because I pulled something or stepped in AoE or too many mobs converging all at once. Like you can't react quick enough when you're multi-boxing. You have to have a second to think sometimes.
Right.
And if there's 4 mobs hitting you at the same time, you don't have that second. It's like you takes a step back and it's the wrong decision. Like you get one shot by whatever is standing behind you. So I got to the end of the dungeon and I see this massive boss, which is like these monstrosities in the mall that are elites. And like that thing usually is bad on melee. So I was like, I don't know about this boss. So I attacked it. I popped all my cooldowns and my health dropped down to 20%. I built my health back to 100%. Then 2 seconds later, my health dropped down to 20% again. I thought, oh, this is bad. So the tank goes down. I'm like, oh no. And then there's a rogue left. And then the rogue goes down. I'm like, oh crap. So I got to run back. I run back and the thing didn't heal up. So I'm like, oh good, I can get it. So I used the rogue because the rogue has a few range attacks. And he had that buff that you can't attack it unless you're really close to it. Like there's like a mist that prevents you from attacking at range. So he kept just sprinting away and just little jab, 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 jab. And then when he was down to like 4 or 5% health, I closed in for the kill. And I got my kill and I got my soul ash and I got my my quest done because I was doing the weekly for Anima Ambers. So I was doing it on 4 characters. So I was going to Torghast 4 times to get this quest done. That gives me 2,000 gold, which is pays for my repair bill anyway. Repair bill is 50 gold. So 2,000 gold minus 50 gold is still a pretty good change.
Right.
And you get reputation for your covenant. And if you're leveling renown, you get more renown. So I'm at renown 72 on one of my alts that just hit 60 this week. So that's pretty good. I'm also kind of trying to level professions during Dark Moon Fair. I only have the one profession in Legion that's not maxed out, and then I'll have the Master of all achievements for all the expansions. I think that's
Congrats.
Jewel crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working hard on it. It's not necessarily easy, but it's very fulfilling to get those little achievements out of the way. I'm doing all the callings in every zone, in every max level character I have. I have 4 max level characters on 2 different accounts, and I tried to invite myself to level something from a horde to an alliance, and it wouldn't work. I know you can. There's a way you can do it. Play with your friends in instance content, but I haven't figured out how. So, because then it would mean that my horde can help out my alliance.
Right, cross faction.
Yes, I know you can mail stuff to your horde and alliance if you're on the same server, but I don't know about running the same alliance together, because the same instance together, because there's dungeons I want to run that would be simpler if I just had a geared character to pull the other character on follow while I multi-box. I'm collecting pet charms on all the mission tables I have. I have 4 mission tables for my max level characters, and basically I have my spreadsheet, and every day I go do pet charms. There's one day I missed this week. I was just too tired. I didn't log into WoW. I was like, I need to sleep, so I took a sleeping aid. And sleeping aids are dangerous because you never know when they're going to hit you hard.
Right.
And I woke up and I was late for work. I was oh, that's not good. That's not good. So I got to work late. I apologize to the boss. He didn't care because we're doing so good. Like we got a good team together, and we're basically hitting all the right numbers. So he's very, very happy with us. And it wasn't a big issue that I was late for work to him. So that I was grateful because it was my last day before my vacation. I'm on 4 weeks vacation. So
oh my God, good for you.
If you want to do something in WoW, you just ping me on the cell phone and I'll come running.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm trying to gear up those 4 characters, those 4 max level characters, because they have faction specific rep grinds that they can do that are worth gold. Like I got Timmins and what's this other pet? Willow Breeze, which are 2 pets in Ardenweald. I was going to send you one Aprillian, but somebody wanted something from me as a trade, and I'll just give you the 2 pets. And they gave me 55,000 gold, which I needed at the time. So I was like, okay, like I'll take it. I'll take it. I need it. So yeah, I needed it for the pet sale the other day. So, and they were happy because they're pet collectors. Not everyone is at the same level. Some people have 159 pets. Some people have 1,000 pets. I met somebody yesterday that have 1,429 pets.
Wow.
They have all the pets in the game except for like 30 pets.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
wow, that's good. That's dedication. They have 30,000 achievement points. That's like wow. That's almost all the achievements.
Yeah.
You got almost everything there. Flawless, pretty much. So I'm trying to get to hang out with them. I'm probably going to donate to them Hate Spark the Tiny to either buddy. If you have a spare or something, I'd like it. Here's a Hate Spark. I know they don't have that one. I was going to give them the Rocket Chicken, but I had to give that away to get another pet.
Right.
So, it's you win some, you lose some. It's all it's all a game, You can't get too attached to these things. Like I had to let go of $1 million gold on my my main, so, to buy and sell stuff and to stay in the running to get what I want on BlackRock. So I spent some gold on Thorium Brotherhood so I could get gold on BlackRock, and it's all going to work out in the end. But I'm a little bit behind on my auctions on Thorium Brotherhood because it's a low population server, and BlackRock is very, very profitable because a high population server, you can find a different variety of customers. I'm doing as many pet battles in all 4 zones as possible to earn as many pet charms as I can to buy and sell and trade the pets that I need to get to where I want to be for the next expansion. I know I'm going to have to run pet dungeons, so I'm not ready for those because I'm still grinding reputation on 4 characters. But at some point, I will have time to do pet battles every week to earn the different pets from the pet dungeons. I think currently I'm at the Stratholme dungeon. And there's
nice.
There's 2 other dungeons after that I haven't tried yet. So there's BlackRock Depths. I think that's the last dungeon. But there's 2 other dungeons I haven't tried because I'm a little bit scared, a little apprehensive that I'm going to screw up. So the pet battle dungeons, the thing of it is like it's like the Celestial Tournament. Once you start them, you're not allowed to heal.
Oh.
So your heal button is disabled and your bandages don't work. And then if you do a run and your pet dies and you need that pet for 3 fights, you got to have a different level 25 pet to keep going.
To bring it in, right, yeah.
To finish the run. And so there's certain fights that I have 3 of a certain pet just to be on the safe side, because if I mess up once, I could start to fight over with the other pets, right?
Right.
But if I mess up twice, then the run's in peril because I have to start the run over if I fail to clear all my fights. And there's like 12, 15 fights in a pet battle dungeon. So you really don't want to have to start over if it's a job that takes an hour. So you have to be very focused. You're not watching TV when you're doing a pet battle dungeon. You're watching your strats, making sure you get them right. If you have a script, you're watching every attack to make sure you don't get like a super crit from the pets that you're fighting. And like if you have a life-saving move like life exchange, you have to be focused to say, I'm down to 10% health. I'm going to pop that to fill my bar up back to full, right? I know there's one fight that Daryl in Ardenweald, he always gets a crit and then he puts my thing to sleep, and then I'm down to like one little sliver of health left, and I heal myself to full every time I do that fight. So it's like he's not supposed to get 2 crits in a row. It doesn't. It's not fair, Blizzard. It's supposed to be protection against critical things. But I'm just like, okay. So like it didn't work like I wanted it to, and I'm gonna try to still finish the dungeon, and I still want my pet reward at the end. I still don't have the ever blossom thing from. There we go. There she is. There's somebody I want to talk to get a pet.
Oh.
So I'm gonna try and see if she will sell it to me.
Pet?
I got my fingers crossed because she could say no, and then then you're stuck. You're done, right? You don't get the pet.
Oh no, I'm out of mana.
Well, you know, trades are tricky sometimes.
Yes.
I haven't seen her for so long. I'm
I'm asking her because I'm fairly confident that she has all the good stuff.
Right.
It's like shaking because there's like really expensive pets, like 600K for a pet is a lot. And I've paid as much as 1 million gold for the celestial calf off the Mad Merchant in Dalaran. That was the most I ever spent on a pet. I've bought the spectral tiger cub for not too much money back in the old days because back in the old days the gold cap was 1 million, so you didn't have to spend these insane amount of golds that are inflated, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now it's like the gold cap's 10 million, so people ask whatever they want. So like, if you don't have the gold, you don't have the gold. I really want this pet. So I know Key Fungus in the chat room. Hey, I'm all excited. You know, it's like I'm over caffeinated. I drink like 6 cups of coffee a day while I'm on vacation. It's like I don't care. I'll sleep when I go back to work or whatever. Yeah. Some people go on vacation to take a break. I go on vacation to play hard. So that's just the way I am. That's how I'm wired since I was a kid. Whenever I get to do a week of vacation, I got the whole week planned out. I don't have a moment to sit down or sleep or pass out. I just go hard. And I have rep grinds. I have dungeon grinds. Oh, you get a piece of 278 eye level if you do the weekly quests from the vault in Oribos. So it's a really, really nice high level gear if you have time to grind out that 5 dungeon run. So if you're a healer or tank, it's a no-brainer. But if you're like a lowly DPS like me, it's quite useful. You just hope that you won't get kicked. You try to run the dungeon with a friend, right? So you have less chance of getting kicked. If she logged off. That's not good. Mm. No reply. I guess she was checking the age. Mm. Dang it. I hope she'll talk to me again. Anyway, sad face. I know it's not much, but I'm sure I call it. I do the pet battles to level my characters to 58. And then sadly, I got the crappy gear for the wrist, boots, and belt. So if I go into like a dungeon or whatever, my DPS is at the bottom of the meter because the heirloom gear doesn't bring up your hits high enough. Oh. And if you take 2 hits from a mob, you're dead. So the bracers from Warlords or Pandaria doesn't cut it. You have to spend 100 gold on the auction house to buy something better. Unless you're on Earthen Ring. If you're on Earthen Ring, all the gear costs 1,000 gold. I found that out this week because I was like, well, my Deprishna character needs some better gear. So I went to the auction house and the wrists, the gloves, the boots, the belt, everything was 1,000 to 7,000 to 750,000 gold for low-level gear because it has a transmog value. So it's like, okay, so this is like transmog stuff, so like it's worth more, but if you just want eye level, usually you don't care, right? So, but there's no cheaper gear at that eye level if you want an upgrade. So, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to wait till my my leather worker can craft the stuff for level 55, and then I can just mail it to him, and it won't be as bad. I'm not too sure about barking in trade for gear because I don't want to get ripped off. I'm trying to save my gold to buy Lita amount, but we'll see. We'll see how that all worked out. I've been working on it for 2 years, so it's an expensive amount I want to get her.
Right, and it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, you find out it's somebody's birthday or whatnot. You want to do something nice for them, or Christmas, or Easter, or whatever. Like any occasion is a good excuse for a gift, right?
Right.
And if it's in the game, then it costs you your time more or less. So I really enjoy like this gold making stuff. There's a guy on BlackRock who has millions and millions and millions of gold, and my GM saying, maybe you should just talk to him and get some tips. And I'm like, I have too much invested in professions on another realm. I don't want to repeat all the professions on this realm to get the legendaries and stuff. I just don't have that much patience. I have limited time in the game, so I can grind reputation. I can grind gear. I don't want to grind professions. It's not a cost-effective venture because the auction house is very hit and miss. I found out when I got to Corthia that you can buy a Mark III thing if you do the quest, the dailies, but that will give you eye level 233 gears. So it'll up the gear past what Venari's eye level thing was. Venari eye level thing was 168. So of course people are buying 233 gear rather than 168. It's all what you want to do in the game, and I don't mind pricing it cheaper. But if I don't know that it exists or doesn't exist, then I can't do anything about it. And I want eventually to get to There's Mortis because apparently there's more upgrades there. So I don't know how the legendary system works. Professions, they got rid of the 3-star system, but now they've brought in this thing with the relics of the past, and the tokens of upgrade. So you can also buy, if you're in Corthia and you have Stygia, you can buy a slot 200 item level that you can mail to your alts. So what I did is I mailed a weapon to my rogue, which is on a different server, so I don't have to spend gold, thousands and thousands.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's free to me because it costs my time. I didn't have anything more to spend my Stygia on. Apparently, you can buy mounts. There's like 50 mounts from patch 9.1 that have been added to the game. I'm like, I'm just not a big mount. I'm 50, yeah.
Wow.
I watched a YouTube video with Bellular,
Right.
and he's listing them all, and it's like, oh my god, like it hurts your head to hear all these different versions of every single mount that they put in. Like, there's so many of them, and like he describes the achievements, he describes the rep grinds, he describes going out with different followers and getting part of the achievement done this way, that way, and the other way, and then starting over with a different character, different armor class, different this, different that. Like too much. You basically put the kitchen sink in the salad. It's like you made a mess of things. Just like, give me something simple to follow. It's like simple footsteps, and I don't mind doing it. Like all these different things. Like I wasn't even watching the screen. I was like on something else, and I wanted to listen to my music videos. But YouTube knows that I like to follow stuff about World of Warcraft. So I put Bellular 9.1 patch on next. I was busy in my game. I did like it. I could listen to the video, but I didn't have time to watch it on the other screen. I was like, I got to do this because I have limited time to play with my friend, and my friend gets on at 8 a.m. because that's when he gets off work.
Mm.
Well, he goes back to work at like 1 o'clock in the morning at night. Okay, so he has to sleep something. I can't just be asking him stuff all day long because I want to get my rares done. Like I have to respect that he has to have a life. He's basically beaten me in the game as far as campaign progress follows because he's already in Zareth Mortis doing stuff. He plays hard. He watches a lot of YouTube videos. He gets the gear. He spends his gold on gear. I don't spend my gold on gear usually. I hold off on that. I try to see if it's possible to gear using normal dungeons or drops or basically upgrades. And my cat's doing a weird thing now. It's it wants a pan of water to play in the water. My cat's not afraid of water. I don't know why that is, but
I know that is weird.
It used to jump in the bathtub when I first got her. Maybe, yeah. Or if you were in the shower, she'd tap on the shower door to come in there with you. So that was kind of weird, but she's going back to that now that she's old. She's 15 now, so getting up there. I'm getting rep with Court of Night. I'm also getting rep with the Stitch Masters, and I'm doing the Anima Conductor thing because the Anima Conductor gives you access to rares that drop pets. I want those pets because if I don't have to pay 100K for a pet, that's a good thing. But you have to have all the different covenants if you want the different pets. So, okay, like a level, like I don't mind doing that. I just don't want to level all the different armor classes. Like I got a thing that says all the leather armor classes. So there's Druid, there's Rogue, there's Monk, and basically it says once you get the appearances, you only have it for those armor classes. I'm like, does that mean I have to level cloth? No, I'm not doing another rep grind just so I can have the appearance. I'm not a completionist like that for transmog. Like, I'll have it in leather, and if I need it in leather, I'll just make it a leather character. I don't race change. I don't do Uber leveling to get all the appearances. I try to keep it sanity wise.
Right.
And
yeah.
just focus on stuff that I can manage, not try to like be an Uber player. I really want to have how do you guys put it? Like a normal game, not be crazy completionist because that'll just drive me away at some point. I'll stop playing. Like I want things to be easy. And my friend said, "Oh, I went and got the mount from Time of the Wrath of the Lich King Classic." He goes, "You only have to do the Death Knight experience, and it takes about 3 hours." I said, "No, I'm not doing it. I did it before. Not doing it again. I'm done with that part. Like I've donated my time to that already. It's for a mount. I don't care.
You paid your dues, literally.
Yeah, he goes, it's limited time. I go, I don't care.
Right.
It's just not worth my effort. So I was glad it entertained him. Glad he got his mount. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going there. So that's pretty much been it for my week, I think. I'm still selling Vial of the Sands like crazy. I think I'm going to sit in front of the auction house a little bit longer, just advertising and marketing and trade because
it seems
people are at the point. Yeah, people are at the point in the expansion where they want stuff that they haven't been able to loot for a long time, and they're willing to pay because they have stuff that they do in the game that rewards them. The guild that I play on, Blackrock, everyone's really, really nice. I don't want to get kicked out, so I'm willing to make a few trades and whatnot, and I don't mind paying gold because it's like a universal currency, so to speak. It's like it facilitates the transaction, right?
Right.
If everybody's happy, then you have a beneficial, more productive playtime. If one person gets upset or frustrated, then it doesn't make the game fun. And I want everybody to have fun, so to speak. So
yes,
I'm still grinding pets because that's one thing I do. I want to grind reputation so I can have more pets. So I tried, if I have a green version of a pet, I always try to turn it blue. So if it's a trade coming up, it's a blue they get. I want the value to be there for whoever gets the fruits of my labor, so to speak. I don't want them to have put in extra work for something to be
max level.
The max level or the nice thing. Yeah. If I only have the level 25 pet, I don't have any of the level 1s. I give away to 25. I don't care. It's fine. I have enough gold to make 15 vials of the sands on that server. So that's why I'm not in a rush, because I kind of keep the wave going ahead of the collapsing price. Now that the mats are so cheap, people can mass produce them and just sell a lot of them. But I always want to have like one or two ahead of the cheapest price, and then not undercut by too much. Like I undercut by 1 or 2 gold. I don't undercut by 1,000 gold, because then that just devalues the item.
Right.
And on Thorian Brotherhood, I sell them for 75,000 gold. They're almost 30,000 gold more, because the lower population server does not mean people are not buying them. So people don't undercut as much on that server. They price match. But on a high population server, there's a lot more farmers. The mats are cheap. The competition's more fierce.
Right.
So you gotta be a little bit more aggressive if you want to get any sales, because like a month and a half ago, I didn't sell anything for 2 months on that server, basically because people were just too well indoctrinated into the auction house. They had just the rhythm, the time, and the energy to undercut, relist. Every time you listed something, they would undercut you within minutes. So I think people were like in a guild of 1,000, people were watching the price for each other, and they would tell if somebody had, like the way it was, the auction house would tell who had the cheapest price. So even if you price matched, it didn't matter. The TSM add-on would say who was the cheapest on that server, and then they would undercut you automatically, because they didn't want to be second best. They wanted to be the best sales monger or auction house tycoon that they could be. Like, it was rough. Like, I was depressed on that server because I couldn't get anywhere for 2 months. And then I bought my my WoW token, and I got just a little bit of leverage, and that enabled me to be able to relist without having to cancel auctions. So I could just have 10 vials ahead of the game, and then just list. And even if it sells, within an hour, it comes back to me as profit, and then I can relist again. Because my GM, it was so nice to me. He donated 2,000 volatile water to me. He just donated it.
Oh, wow.
Like, I really haven't had any nice people like that just be so generous with their time, farm stuff, and get the mats for me before. So that's why I'm really attached, and I don't want to lose this guy. You know, if I can do something to help him, I do try to go out of my way to give him my time or my energy to accomplish his goals as well. So He asked me to farm marrow root. I don't mind doing that. If it's cheap on the auction house, I'll just buy it from the auction house because I make gold. Like 15,000 gold is nothing for them, basically, because I have the leverage to stay ahead of the game. That's like one vial to sand sale, basically. So right now I'm working in trade. I can't seem to find a way to upgrade my garrison on that server. There's a quest I have to do and I haven't done it. And because I want to teleport to Ashran on that platform thingy,
right?
But I haven't figured it out. There's a build your own fortress quest.
Yeah.
There's a build your own fortress quest that you have to do, and I haven't. I like my friend who doesn't know where he's gone wrong in his campaign. There's a thing I've done wrong, and I have to invest time or write a ticket or try to figure out where I bogged down.
It's like doing homework.
Yeah. On that guild, they only need 1 or 2 more classes to get their state classy achievement. They need I think a Tauren monk. And I made a Tauren monk, but I haven't leveled it yet. I think I'm probably going to do that while I'm off. And that way to get their state classy achievement and guild tab bank 8. So why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, chat room. Thank you for your week. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I do know you get a frostbound proto worm now. I just not interested enough to spend 3 hours in North Rain. Sorry. Just don't care.
All right. Who said that?
Inoki Fungus in the chat room. I'm sorry. It's an achievement that is going to go by the wayside for me. It's like I just don't have that energy.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I've done it before. I paid my dues. I have many death nights, many of them. That's been my week.
All right. Sounds like a good week.
Oh, excellent. Oh. How you doing? I get excited. I get giddy and love making mini alts. My dog is trying to poop for the Horde and for the Alliance. It was funny on my head.
Berlin, how was your week in gaming?
My week in gaming is weird because if you remember, and I know you do because you mentioned it earlier, I said that I was going to play a bunch of other virtual reality games, and I was all set for that. I'll put a screenshot. I own so many VR games that it's ridiculous. There's experiences. There's an Apollo 11 one where you go in and you actually are in Apollo 11. There's boxing ones. There's a couple of battle royale ones like Constraxx. And Constraxx is really big in the news right now, in the VR news, because it can be modded. There are mods in the game that make it look like you're in World of Warcraft. I'll have to put the you know how when you're out at the starting area for the orcs, you know how it looks.
Right.
So that's what the background is like. And there's also a Halo mod, and but I haven't done any of those, and instead all I did last week was play Population 1. I am so hooked on Team Deathmatch. It's fast-paced and fun. I put some screenshots in the show notes of my wins, and I put a screenshot of my YouTube channel. I mean, it's not a big one. I mean, look, I got mostly 10 views, a couple of them 24 views. But it's fun to put up the video and show how much fun I've had. My my biggest fun is in certain areas of the maps that pop up. There's random maps in Team Deathmatch, and some of them have a jump pad, so you can jump on it and you go up in the air. But I call it skeet shooting because it's really fun to like aim the people that go up, the enemies, and get them and shoot them down. You know, pull, I call it, and it's And I was singing. I have a tendency when I'm playing Team Deathmatch is to sing, and so I was singing "What Goes Up Must Come Down," and so that's Spinning Wheels by Tom Jones, and it was really funny because I was singing it, and then another woman chimed in, "April, you're showing your age," because Tom Jones was from the 70s, and it's always neat. The amount of female players that are showing up are wonderful. I've been playing with some wonderful, strong women who can really know how to fight and know how to win. Of course, there's been a lot of e-peening. I put out a video. One of my videos from last week was some, I want to say kid. It might have been a teenager. It might have been a 20-something who decides to call and say where you're supposed to go. And it's crazy because you can't really organize Team Deathmatch because it's too fast-paced. If you say everybody push this way, half the group can get wiped out, and now you're going to be somewhere else, and your strategy just won't work. But they'll be screaming into the mic, and, I try to diffuse things, crack jokes, have fun, and point out that, it doesn't... My latest thing, and I know some people are mad at me for saying this, but at the end of a round, I'll say, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. It's how you play the game. And inevitably, some testosterone person will say, no, it's not. It matters if you win. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It's all about having fun and socially interacting. There's been a lot of stuff in the VR news lately about what's coming up, and I don't know if you're familiar with Fortnite. Are you familiar with? It's a battle royale game.
I played a little bit. Yeah, I played a little bit, but I'm not very good at it because I don't know how to build a fort real quick.
Right, but it's like World of Warcraft. It's a flat screen game, so you're playing it on your computer. Yeah. The rumor is it's coming to VR, which is it's gonna be crazy if it does. And there's a tiny fear that it's gonna overwhelm or take over the people who play Population 1 because it's a yeah. I haven't played it. I've seen some of the videos, and it looks like the videos they're showing are more like cut screens than actual gameplay, which is it's different. You know how if you see the cut screen on World of Warcraft, it's definitely different from actual gameplay. I've thought about trying it, but I'm not going to. In one of the screenshots I put in the show notes, it's the last one before my YouTube listing. You can see a character floating in the air above me, and that was part of sometimes. So, and I've been trying to explain Team Deathmatch, and I'm not sure I'm explaining it properly. But what happens is, you join in for Team Deathmatch. You end up in a lobby with 6 people on one team and 6 people on the other team. While you're in the lobby and they're are accumulating people, your actual team can change, but you can talk to everybody on both sides. And then after they have a full squad, you're immediately dropped into the actual playing field. Once you're in the playing field, you can only talk to the 6 people on your team, and then you're fighting the 6 other people that was in the lobby. The neatest thing I like about Team Deathmatch is that you can, if you leave the group, they will pull somebody else from a queue and they will repopulate the team. It's not like if you leave a dungeon or if you're in a squad and you leave, then your teammates are stuck because they're only, they've lost you. So if you're in a squad, right, you've only got 2 people. If you're in a dungeon, you're down a person. But with Team Deathmatch, they will pull somebody else in, and then you keep on going. But the best part of Team Deathmatch is at the end of the game, end of each match, you've gotten to 30 kills. And that's another thing I do. Sometimes you're on a really bad team, and the other team gets to 30 and you've got like 15 or 20 kills. When we hop back in the lobby, I always I say something like, man, that was so close. It could have gone either way. So then you're dropped back into the lobby with, and this is what's unique about Team Deathmatch as opposed to any other form of matches in Population 1 or even in any other game. You're jumped back in the lobby with the same other 11 people, and now you can talk. And the lobby is just an area with a bunch of guns that you can practice with. And that's another thing. I need to put a screenshot. I have a AKM skin that is a chicken, and I always like to pull out my chicken in the lobby and show people because not a lot of people have that skin, so that's kind of neat. But now you can talk to the person that killed you or the person you killed. Sometimes I go over and hug people that I've killed, or I'll go over to someone and say, yeah, it's really nice. But then the game starts again, and now you're sometimes on the same team with the person that just killed you in the last match, which does 2 things. One is now you know their skill set and you know what they like to do, so you can use that to your advantage. You know that the person on the other team that was on your team likes to go up into the clock tower and snipe, or you know that person likes to go around and flank, so you can watch for that person. So it's really exciting. Every game is different. Every game is very the strategy is always different, and you learn something. So there's 2 strategies that people use that some people have a problem with. One is called head peeking. And let me see if I can show you. So this is like you come up against a wall. And the wall, you're sitting on the wall. You can aim your gun over the wall, which gives you a smaller profile and a smaller hitbox, and you can shoot. So people call that head peeking, and they get so mad. Look at that peeker. But that same person that complained about the peeker peeks. Everybody peeks. Then there's another thing called camping, which is crazy, where you pick a spot and you just pick off people below you or above you, and you just sit there. And they call that camping. I call it strategic placement. I mean, you can't really camp. You're just being in a good spot and killing people. So it's just funny that people get so upset, and it's just interesting watching them fuss. The other thing that's been happening this week, and I have never seen this in other video games in World of Warcraft, where people are having outside conversations. I just don't get it. I actually was in a meeting. I was listening to someone talk about, what were they talking? They were talking about selling a house and making investments and all of this stuff. And I'm like, excuse me, we're trying to kill people here. Could you chill? Of course, we always have the other thing where people are in a room and you can hear. I mean, we've gone through that here too. We can hear the background noise. You can hear people talking. But when you're in a meeting and you're playing, I don't understand that. For one thing, you can mute yourself. So I don't understand. Why wouldn't you just mute yourself instead of subjecting us? Of course, I ended up having to mute when I'm streaming, and I'm always streaming when I'm playing Population 1. If you start playing music in the background, I have to mute you. Well, because if I put it on, if it becomes like, if it's a good game and I want to post it on YouTube, I will get a copyright infringement hit. So I can't.
Right, you get flagged. You get
flagged, right. And I can't let you play your music in the background. I know. Oh, shoot. I'm in a good spot. I wasn't paying attention to where my tune was. And wow.
Did you know I tried to download music from iTunes, and I didn't know it was a Jay-Z collaboration. There's like 90 versions of that song, and he's all the way at the bottom of the list because it's explicit. Not YouTube, iTunes. iTunes, if it's explicit, they bury it like deep in the list. So, like you have to do searches and search Forever Young or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Like, I wanted the Jay-Z version, but because it's explicit, you can't find it easily.
Right. Actually, if you had explicit, and this is a tangent, but if you have explicit music on your computer that you synced with your phone for Apple Music, it will actually trade out the explicit version for the non-explicit version.
What?
I think they're trying to protect the children. Think of the children.
Isn't it the children who want that stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I've been doing pretty good. One of the things I did do last week, this past few days, is play the co-op bot battle. And you're supposed to play with.
Wow, yeah.
Which is.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, which is basically PvE as opposed to PvP. And 3 times that I played it, I ended up alone. 2 times, it might have been late at night or early in the morning.
Wow, where is Boo Boo?
And another time, a couple of people I was playing with, they died and then they left. And I actually won. If you look at the first screenshot, I killed 15 bots and got some damage. As far as leveling in Population 1, I have I'm up at 61 and I'm halfway to 62, which will give me the Roy. It's called a Rainbow Roy, and I have a helmet. If you look in that show notes, and then I was like, okay, all I have to do is get to 62. They increased the level to 63.
What?
Yeah,
that's not.
Well, I mean, I guess they have to keep going because if you don't, then people who like to level will get bored. But I want to get to max level so I can do other things, because you can also do a lot of custom channels where you go in and try different things and you play with people in different ways. In the custom rooms, you can you can change the parameters. You can make it all a knife fight, or you can make it all one sort of weapon. There's even one where you can change the gravity, so you're like fighting in the air. But those rooms, custom rooms, do not give XP. So I haven't been going in there. I have been getting a lot of invites to different custom rooms, and I want to give a shout out to everyone that has invited me. But right now, I'm just playing randoms, and I'm playing Team Deathmatch. You can play with a teammate, but I find it more interesting to change the dynamic and switch up. And I've also been playing World of Warcraft. Me dinged 51. And we just ran Mana Tombs, and it's been really fun going back to all these old dungeons that I haven't done in a while. It brings back memories, except now they just run through them. There's like, I can't explain it. It's just like you're just constantly going and going and going. Of course, I'm playing on me, who's a warlock. So the first thing I do is try to put a soul stone on the healer and keep an eye on the tank. And we made it. But then I went into Blood Furnace, and the tank just ran and immediately died, and everybody left. So I left. And I have 7 minutes left on my dungeon deserter thingy. So, I mean, I couldn't help it. Everybody died. I guess I could have stayed and tried to, restart it.
The thing is, if you stay in the dungeon, everybody respawns right where you are.
Well, I had already died.
At the entrance.
Yeah, I had already died, so I would have had to run back in. I don't know. But anyways, it was interesting. And so in the meantime, I have been doing some pet battles, and I'm doing some archaeology. And I know what I wanted to say. Me, when I logged in, had a whole bunch of auctions that had been successful. Me is also a skinner, so I'm always putting skins up for auction, and they sell really well. Not as much as yours. I got 232 gold, which I think is pretty good. Me right now has 4,000 gold, and also he's gotten 3 more quests for Dark Moon Fair from, I guess it comes from the dungeon to turn in. And
Yeah,
and that's pretty good XP. So one of the things I want to do this week, and I'm going to try to stick to it.
You can skip the maw if you want.
Yeah. The maw, right.
Yeah, when you go to Shadowlands,
yes,
you can just talk to the NPC and skip past it.
Actually, me hasn't.
So you can just do world quests.
Me hasn't left Kalimdor. Me has all these campaigns that say, all these quests that say, learn about your leader's fate. And all this stuff.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, and
I was going to start a quest on the character, and it said your quest log is full, so I had to delete quests. I had to delete quests that read completed because I just couldn't be bothered to turn them in. I go, I don't care. I don't want that 2 gold. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So I cleared up my quest log so I could keep on questing.
Right. And he is currently in Zorm Strand doing archaeology.
Zorm Strand, yeah.
And the dig that we're in is humongous.
Yes, it's enormous, that one. I don't know why. That's the biggest thing ever.
It's biggest, and you'll dig and you'll run in the direction it tells you to go, and then it then tells you to go in a different direction. And yeah. And because he's 51, the mobs no longer give any XP or anything, so
the other dig that's annoying, the one in Ungoro Crater, that's like an 8 shape or infinity symbol.
Right.
That one's huge as well.
Yeah. And when I dropped down here, I had already had one dig. Apparently I was here and got frustrated and left another time.
Why don't you sell Vial of the Sands on Earthen Ring? You have Sheldon on that account?
Say that again?
Why don't you sell Vial of the Sands on Earthen Ring? You have Sheldon on that account?
Let me look. You know,
because Vial of the Sands they sell for $85K, and it'll cost you $40K to make them. Not even. I won't undercut you. I promise.
I'll look into it. What else? There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Ran Mana Tunes, did that. And so this week I'm gonna make that promise again. I hope I can stick to it. I'm gonna go into some different Sheldonian. No, Sheldonian is on one of my accounts. It's not active right now. Maybe in a couple of months I'll be able to activate her account, but she's not on this one.
I'll mail you a couple vials. You just sell them.
You're the best.
Make it look like it's you make it look like it's competition, okay? I'll mail them to me. And then you can see when they sell, it'll ping, this is sold.
Yeah, you know what? I want to say that about I want to say about the fact that I know this has been going on for a while, but I really like it when you first log into World of Warcraft on your account, it tells you who has mail. I love that so much. Yeah, that's a nice,
fantastic.
That's a nice feature of Blizzard. Thank you. So I was gonna say try all of my games, but that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna try 3. One is Vermilion. Vermilion is an art thing, and I'm on the Facebook group with that. You actually show up in a space, and you have a canvas, you have tools, and you have a tray for paint. And I'm gonna try that. And the other one is Alt VR, and it's more of a social thing than a gaming thing. But I'm gonna try going in there. And then there was one more game I wanted to try. I want to play Moss, but Moss is playing with this little mouse, and you help her go on an adventure. And I always feel like Maija is judging me when I'm playing with another pet, so I don't want to do that. There's also maybe I'll go with the pro fishing. It's a really cool thing where you're actually looking like you're fishing. You're in a 3D area and fish. And of course, I probably should do some more exercising things so I can, get back in shape. But that's what I'm trying to do next week. I'm also working on a blog about blogging, and I'll talk more about that next week. I mean, not blogging, a blog about journaling and how to journal physically and digitally, because that's the holy grail of journaling. People talk about journaling and you need to write, but if you write in a book, it's just a static thing. And right. So I have figured out a way to journal digitally and physically, and I want to talk about that next week. But that's been my week. I'm having a lot of fun in Pop 1. I want to shout out to everybody who's been playing with me. it's interesting because when I show up in a lobby, sometimes I always play by myself, like as a random, but I show up in a lobby and I run into people who I've played with before. And what's really neat is there are a lot of people my age playing in VR, and I love that. They'll go, "Oh, I'm older than you," and I'm like, "Nope, I'm 60," and they go, "Oh, okay, yeah, you got me beat." and I want to just give a shout out to Grand Nagus. Hope he's enjoying Hamburg. Oh, and a personal shout out to my nephew Brendan and his lovely, beautiful bride Candace. They are expecting a baby in December, and their shower was today. It was yesterday, and it was wonderful. And it's so amazing to see these people. And I know this might be embarrassing for him, but he'll never watch this, so he won't know. But I changed this little boy's diaper when he was a baby. I've seen him grow up, and now he's going to be a dad. And that's just, it's amazing. Right. It's amazing. And I have to tell you, between him and his wife, I envy this baby, because this baby is going to be amazing. And they are doing something that most people don't do. We don't know. We don't know if it's a girl or a boy. We won't know until it's here. So that's kind of neat. So shout out to Brendan and Candace and what we've been calling Baby B and my little sister. That's the amazing thing about this. This is my baby sister is becoming a grandmother. I just love that so much. And nice. That's been my week.
Good week. Hey, sold another vial of sand. 8 vials of sand in 3 days.
Wow, you are the man.
I'm telling you, these things sell like hotcakes if you price them right.
Yeah, it's all about that. So, and I guess we just want to talk about one. We've only had one leveling, and that was me making level 50 last week. So good job, me.
Congrats.
Am I?
Well done.
I just, this tune I love because the 2-letter names go really fast on a new server.
Yeah.
And this is, Earthen Ring is such an old server that the fact that I have MI as a name, it's a wonderful. All right, chat room, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody. A shout out to Grand Nagus, wherever you are. And we miss you, obviously. We have 2 more weeks of no Grand Nagus. So anybody out there that wants to join us, let us know. I'm going to reach out to Curly because Curly's been playing a lot, and I would really like to have him on. And, of course, Kyle, if you want to join us, let us know. I just realized we never give out our contact information. Control-Alt-Wow podcast on Twitch. Control-Alt-Wow@gmail.com if you want to comment on us. We don't have an Instagram page. Maybe I should put up an Instagram page. That'd be nice.
You know what? I don't want Instagram. The reason is my sister is a shutterbug. So it'd be like ping, 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 ping.
Oh, you can
all
turn
day long.
off. You can turn off notification.
I don't know if you can do it for family. Like my brother was visiting, and basically I was at work, and my phone would go off every 5 minutes. It's like you don't know, like somebody's important or injured or whatever. Like if it's in like able to remove the notification, I would do
you
that.
can always. I don't have my notification turned on for anything. I only see anything unless I go to the app because I don't.
I have notification turned on for Twitter because I use that all the time. That is useful to me.
I can't follow Twitter. Twitter just goes too fast. Anyways, we will be back next week. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for being here. And I guess I'm Aprillian for virtual reality, for Population 1, and for the Horde.
And I'm Constraxx for those dungeons where you don't get ganked.
Bye, guys. Oh, and remember, rule of acquisition number 19. Satisfaction is not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, chat room.
Bye, chat room.